Welcome to the Tech Show. I'm Sonya Gavankar. Today we review the most exciting street legal and concept vehicles from the Consumer Electronics Show. We learn about a more convenient way to stay hydrated, and a cuddly companion tries to take my money. All that and more coming up on the Tech Show. Now it's time for the latest. The interim head of the country's cyber defense agency uploaded sensitive contracting documents into a public version of ChatGPT last summer, triggering multiple automated security warnings that are meant to stop the theft of unintentional disclosures of government material from federal networks, according to 4 Department of Homeland Security officials with knowledge of the incident. The apparent misstep from acting director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, Madhu Gautamukala, was especially noteworthy because he had requested special permission from CISA's Office of the Chief Information Officer to use the popular AI tool soon after arriving at the agency this May, 3 of the officials said. The app was blocked for other DHS employees at the time. None of the files that he plugged into ChatGPT were classified, according to the 4 officials, each of whom was granted anonymity for fear of retribution. But the materials included CISA contracting documents marked for official use only, a government designation for information that is considered sensitive and not for public release. Cybersecurity sensors at CISA flagged the uploads this past August, said those 4 officials. One official specified there were multiple such warnings in the first week of August alone. Senior officials at DHS subsequently led an internal review to assess if there had been any harm to government security from these exposures, according to 2 of the 4 officials. It's not clear what the review concluded. Buy now, pay later giant Affirm is piloting a program in partnership with financial technology platform Isuzu that will allow renters to split their monthly rent into 2 equal payments every 2 weeks at 0% APR. There are no hidden or late fees or compounding interest with this pilot program either, according to Affirm. Isuzu helps renters build credit by reporting their on-time rent payments to major credit bureaus. The pilot program is designed to give eligible renters a flexible option for managing one of their largest monthly expenses, Affirm said in a statement to Fox Business, calling it a transparent option that offers flexibility for renters to align expenses with their paychecks. Affirm said it underwrites every application individually and only approves people for what it believes they can responsibly afford to repay. Well, that's good news, since buy now, pay later programs have never really steered us wrong yet. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
This is the gravesite of a queen who died in 9th century AD, Peru. Fast forward 1,200 years and she's been resurrected in 21st century Europe. All thanks to Oscar Neilson, one of the world's only forensic artists, specializing in hyper-realistic sculptures of the deceased.
I am aware that my job is a bit morbid, but as I see it, I try to bring life to all these things.
Oscar is commissioned by actual archaeologists and museums who extract DNA from their findings, providing Oscar with key information about the deceased, such as skin, hair, and eye color. But DNA can't tell us the life a person has lived, so they study the bones for clues.
Together we can get quite an accurate and true image of an individual's appearance.
A 3D printed replica of the skull forms the base of his sculptures. This particular head has taken Oscar 3 weeks of full-time, painstaking hair punching. Each reconstruction takes Oscar around 8 weeks in total, from skull to face.
During the big game, viewers saw a humorous commercial featuring a familiar celebrity talking about fiber and digestive health. The timing is notable, with the day after the big game often marking a return to normal routines. Here to offer some context is registered dietitian Sarah Ludmer, the Chief Wellbeing and Sustainable Business Officer at WK Kellogg Company. Welcome to the Tech Show, Sarah.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Why does the message of the commercial really land the day after the big game?
Yeah, 95% of Americans don't get enough fiber, and yet about half of Americans think they're getting enough. And therefore, we're creating this fiber gap. And so when people are in their day-to-day routines, they're not realizing, even if they're eating fruits and vegetables, they're not quite getting enough fiber. And that's where elevating other everyday foods like high fiber cereals that naturally bring fiber from grains to the table can help them close that fiber gap.
What are some easy, realistic ways people can add more high fiber cereals into their routine?
Starting at breakfast, of course, a bowl of Raisin Bran is going to bring 7 grams of fiber. Add in some fruit and some milk, and all of a sudden, you've created an incredible fiber protein stack with 1/3 of your needs on fiber and 10 plus grams of protein. But you can go beyond the bowl and think about where you add these high fiber cereals into recipes and snacks that you already have today, making it an easy and delicious way to get it into your habits. Things like yogurt parfaits, things like muffins, whether they're bran muffins or egg muffins, or putting high fiber cereal along with some fruit and nuts to make it an easy trail mix, or adding some crunch on top of that scoop of ice cream you might have at night. Thinking about how you incorporate everyday foods into your routine is the best way to make it a habit that'll stick and fill that fiber gap.
Where can we find out more?
Sure, you can learn more about how cereal makes eating well easy at wkkellogg.com. And remember, it's fiber time and a way to get your good gut health feeling with high fiber cereals.
Thanks for joining us, Sarah. We'll be back with more of the Tech Show in just a minute. Stay tuned. Welcome back. YouTuber Janna Breslin is coming in hot with the insane tech shaping cars, planes, drones, and even agricultural vehicles from CES 2026.
What's up, guys? I'm Janna Breslin. Welcome back to my channel and another episode. Today I'm at CES 2026 in Las Vegas to see all things AI and technology in the transportation space. That means vehicles, planes, drones, tractors, and maybe even the coolest fire truck I've ever seen. So let's go check it out.
Growing up, movies told us the future of transportation was flying cars. Back to the Future Part 2 even gave us a date, 2015. Turns out they were a little optimistic, but they weren't completely wrong either, because while we don't all commute in the sky yet, we are definitely not driving the same way we used to.
The best way to describe this jet bike by Leo Flight is a drone that you can sit in and fly around in. It's so fascinating because according to the founders, you don't need a license to be able to fly this thing. It literally shows up at your front door, you jump in, and you go wherever you need to go. So one of the coolest things about this is that it's fully electric. However, it only lasts about 10 to 15 minutes of flight time, and it only hovers about 15 feet off the ground. So your flight time is kind of limited, but imagine what you can do just with that 10 to 15 minutes. They're kind of putting this in the category of motorsports, right? So like jet skis, side-by-sides, things like that. So it really kind of is more of like this fun, experiential, kind of like, let's go have fun and do sports kind of idea. I think this thing is fascinating. I cannot wait to jump in this later and give it a try. I spoke with the company, they're gonna have me out, and I'm gonna give this thing a try. So you better keep an eye out for that upcoming video. Check out this concept from Bobcat. This thing is fully autonomous and electric. It's just a concept, but honestly, this is one I can get behind. It looks pretty sick. The only problem I have is that this is one of those things where I look at it, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, that's awesome, but I also see it as the thing that takes away jobs, which I don't know if I love that. Like, do we need something like this in replace of real people doing the real work and the real job? I don't know, but it is a cool concept. Bobcat's really integrated some interesting tech into their machines here. As you can see at the top, this is a screen that actually vanishes when you're done using it, so you can still have all the visibility and all of the just vision that you would ever possibly need when you're working on a farm, your land, a homestead, whatever. And as I'm sitting in this, I'm like, you know what, I could see this part on my homestead. I can see this there for sure. This just blows my mind. This is the John Deere Combine Harvester, and I don't think I can explain how absolutely gigantic this thing is. Come this way, I gotta show you. This is just the tire. I mean, this is just absolutely insane. The amount of work this thing can do is just, it reminds me of like a military vehicle, just something so substantial. I can only imagine you need like a certain type of license to drive this thing. I love seeing all these ad companies bringing the technology to CES. Kubota brought this concept, I don't want to call it a tractor because I've been told that it's actually not a tractor because it's multi-functional. It can be used for multi-purposes. So harvesting, tilling, as well as any other needs that you might need it for. So it's kind of this really versatile transformer looking device that I think is pretty sick looking.
Now this is where technology actually starts to make sense for me. On my farm, the closest store is about 30 minutes away, so anything that saves time without tearing up the land gets my attention.
It's not a plane, it's not a drone, it's not a helicopter. It's in its own category called like an eVTOL, that's what I've been told. The wild thing about this though is it actually takes off vertically and then can shoot forward like an airplane. So it's somewhat of like a multi-purpose, multifunctional aircraft. It's kind of awesome, and honestly, it's kind of sexy. It looks really, really sweet. Not only that, the wings actually fold back so you can store it in a garage or some small space. So kind of a sweet little thing.
There's no official price on the Air 1 yet, but looking at the tech involved, I'm pretty confident it won't be cheaper than a car. So yeah, milk just got expensive.
I'm at the Sambo Motorsports booth. Check out this passenger drone behind me. This is the first time I've ever seen something like this, where it's a drone that actually carries people. I'm gonna see if I can get inside it, as well as try the simulator. So let's go check it out. Wow, I'm flying in Vegas. It feels real. You guys, that was nuts. I've had a slight interest in maybe learning how to fly, and that was a really good kind of idea of what that would be like. I think that was awesome. Kind of a cool piece of tech.
And then there's stuff that makes you stop and ask why. Like this 2,000 horsepower supercar from a Chinese vacuum manufacturer.
We're actually integrating drones into the vehicles to help delivery drivers. So delivery driver pulls up in this supercar, and then a drone actually takes the, let's just say, groceries and delivers it to where they need to go. Part of me thinks that's like a tad bit lazy, and do we really need supercars to be doing that? But you know, hey, it's an interesting concept. This might not be the tech of the future. However, it is the sexiest thing I've seen since I've laid eyes on my husband. Check this out, you guys. I might need to switch careers. I don't know. This is pretty sick. So this is a hybrid fire truck that's used in airports. This holds 30,000 gallons of water as well as foam for security reasons on airports, which I think is pretty darn cool. I don't know, this is like a legit tank, and I was just told that this is over 100,000 pounds once it's full. That's just like absolutely insane, but I don't know. How do I look? I think I need to change careers at this point. I can do this. When I first came up to this booth, I saw this vehicle and I thought, what a perfect representation of my multiple personalities. But it's not just a cool color combination. This booth does something pretty fascinating, which is they have a software that analyzes 3D models of vehicles and makes them so you can modify your own vehicle to make it more aerodynamic. So theoretically, this software could be used with like semis or like food truck delivery or any sort of like transportation. You can modify vehicles to make it more aerodynamic and save a lot more on your gas bills, electricity. It kind of makes a lot of sense. And when I think about the future of technology and automotive, this is kind of something that I think is really fascinating. Now, these little models here are actually the front bumpers of this vehicle, and you'll see that there are different percentages. Each percentage showcases that with this kind of bumper, you'll have this percentage more of performance. So it really is a visual cue of how you can make your vehicles more aerodynamic. Check out this concept supercar made in Taiwan. I almost don't even know where to begin. It's just there's so many different elements to it that make it so visually appealing. It's kind of like the coolest tricycle I have ever seen. I asked if I can get in it and they said no, but maybe I'll convince them at a certain point. what if you could tint your windows with the press of a button whenever you want? Check this out. You can just modify your windows however you want. This screen has an integrated technology inside that allows you to just, hey, I want some sun protection, I want some privacy, I want it to be less hot in the vehicle. You just change it. It's crazy. This is pretty sick, and I think I found the next inspiration for my car reviews. Behind me is something that's pretty unique, and I'm trying to figure out exactly who it's for. But this is a vehicle-mounted drone system. So it's basically this pod that houses this drone. And this drone can actually leave and come back while the vehicle's moving. And obviously this is massive. This is not for like the everyday user. So what the company told me was that law enforcement or people maybe who are using it for work, like surveying land, things like that, this might be a good application. I really do wonder if it's for just everyday consumers, everyday drivers who like to take their off-road rigs to faraway places. Who knows?
We have to take a break, but there's more of the Tech Show right after this. Welcome back to the Tech Show. CNET and PC Mag bring us the best wearables from CES 2026.
Put your hammer down because we're moving on to nominee number 1, the Motorola Razor Fold. This is a book-style foldable phone, and it's the first for the company. There are lots of others like this from Samsung and Google. This one has a stylus. It works on the inner screen. The stylus is sold separately with kind of a cool little charging case. It applies 4,000 plus levels of pressure. 6.6-inch inner screen, 8.1-inch outer screen on the Fold itself. The screen looks great in practice. It's nice and bright. The foldable mechanism works really well. It has 3 nice 50-megapixel cams on the rear of the phone. And Motorola is kind of known for flip phones, and now we are finally getting a book. And speaking of books and bringing forward retro things, how about an extra dose of retro goodness for our second honorable mention? The Pebble is back. One of the all-time classic smartwatches is resurrected here at CES, and I'm wearing one. This is a member of a whole new line with that same classic style. The original creator is back. So if you remember, Pebble got acquired by Fitbit, which got acquired by Google, but they got the rights back. The creator said he wasn't happy with what was out there, so he wanted to bring it back, do it all again. And so there's a whole new line, a square time 2, a round 2, renewing the line with that. And the idea of the watches is that they have that same simple screen that's memory in pixel. It's designed to be able to be seen in bright sunlight and in dark rooms without shining on you. And it really focuses on getting the basic functionality right with notifications and lots of cool watch faces and simple games while being able to last a long time on a single charge. Oh, and they have a smart ring now. This is the Index 01, and it's designed to help with your memory. So you can literally just press the little button on the ring and record yourself or do other actions with the microphone. You'll be able to build in commands. What's interesting about this device is that it doesn't have a rechargeable battery. It lasts 2 or 3 years, and then pitch it into the sun. But don't actually pitch it into the sun. 1, that's really far, so you need a lot of arm strength, and 2, the company actually does have a trade-in program that you'd be able to use. So it's a cool, interesting concept. And we like flashy things here at CES, but we also like things that are just practical and useful. And actually, the next nominee is both. It is the MCON gaming controller from Snap. It is a $150 MagSafe accessory that just snaps onto your phone. It works with iPhone and Android. It's a Bluetooth device, and the controller kind of slides down. We're talking about nostalgia. This is like one of those old Sidekick phones. It has ergonomics with good grips on the side. It has a kickstand, so you can take the top piece off of the controller and just sort of set your phone off and start playing. And speaking of setting your phone off and starting to play, it has a separate $70 docking accessory that you can just kind of stick on there and then mirror the screen of your phone onto your TV. So you can sit there and play video games like you have your own little version of a Nintendo Switch suited for Candy Crush. Do people still play Candy Crush? These are important questions. And speaking of important questions, the big one. What was the best mobile device of CES 2026? Feel the anticipation for the moment. It was the Samsung Galaxy Z Tri-Fold. Confetti, fireworks, explosions. Oh my gosh, check this thing out. It is so cool. Yes, we talked about folding devices earlier, and yes, Samsung has plenty. But this doesn't just fold once, it folds twice. Crazy stuff. No, it doesn't fold 3 times. I get how you'd be confused there. It has 3 panels, and it really does make a big difference. It's 6.5 inches on the cover, 10 inches on the inside, and all of that real estate makes it actually feel like a tablet when it's open. So you can watch movies and play games when all 3 are open at once. Now, when they're folded, you can feel a little bit of the bulk, but it's not crazy. This device is already on sale overseas, but it is coming to the US soon. We don't know the price, but it is powerful. A lot of good camera specs and internals. This is going to be a powerhouse device that will legitimately bridge the gap between a phone and tablet to have a hybrid device that you actually want that doesn't make any sacrifices on either side. Like I said,
We have to take one final break, then we're back with Take My Money right here on The Tech Show. Stay with us. Now it's time for Take My Money. This time we have a cuddly companion without the mess.
You rock my soul in a major key. A little roll and I'm staying to your beat, alright. Cause you're taking me higher. I run my fingers down the ivories. I wanna play you like a melody, alright. Cause you're taking me higher. I don't really care what's on the radio, cause your rhythm takes me to the sky. I'm on high. Oh, oh, oh.
I'm so tired.
It's like a fever taking over my brain, alright. Cause you're taking me high.
This little thing may have individualism and might perform cuteness, but we still have to stick it out on a charger and I find that creepy. I mean, that's just like weird. And while Peter McKay, my son, would love this, it's essentially a Furby, isn't it? So sorry, Owlbear, I'm keeping my money. Thanks for joining us this week. Follow us at The Tech Show TV and join the conversation. Tech you later.